Iran has entered its 13th day of widespread protest with demonstrations against rising inflation and government policies spreading to over 100 cities across the nation. What began as economic grievances in Tehran's bazaars has now escalated into a nationwide anti-government movement, with young people, students and citizens from all the walks of life taking to the streets. Well, what has led this protest turn violent? Let us break it down. Protesters blocked roads, set fires and raised slogans such as "Death to Khamenei" and "Down with the Islamic Republic." While in some cities, demonstrators voiced support for exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, chanting, "This is the last battle, Shah Pahlavi will return." According to the US-based human rights activist, 45 people, including 8 children, have been killed during the unrest. Over 2,270 people have been detained and at least one police officer has died after being stabbed. Protesters have also resorted to stone pelting and tearing down symbols of the state, including the Iranian flag and statues such as of Qasem Soleimani, former commander of the Revolutionary Guards. Now let us shed light on the internet and communication blackout. Notably, in response to the unrest, the Iranian government cut internet and phone services nationwide. Tehran airport was closed and the military was put on alert. Advocacy groups such as NetBlocks and Cloudflare confirmed the nationwide digital blackout, a tactic historically used by the Iranian regime ahead of violent crackdowns. Despite all these, some citizens have been able to post updates using satellite internet services like Starlink. Not only this, the economic crisis has also sparked anger in Iran. Notably, the protests are fueled by Iran's deepening economic crisis. In December 2025, the Iranian rial hit an all-time low of around 1.45 million per US dollar, having nearly halved in value since the start of the year. Inflation has surged, with food prices rising 72% and medicine costs climbing by 50%. And the government's proposed 62% tax hike for 2026 further escalated public anger, particularly among the nation's youth and working-class population. When political opposition gains momentum, what happens? Let us know about it. Exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, son of Iran's last Shah, has called on citizens to demonstrate against the ruling clerics. Currently residing in the United States, Pahlavi has appealed for international support, praising US President Donald Trump for threatening action if protesters are harmed. Many protesters view Pahlavi as a secular, democratic alternative capable of restoring economic stability, personal freedoms, and global acceptance to Iran. Now, let us break down about international reactions. Several European leaders have expressed support for Iranian demonstrators. Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson condemned attempt to suppress protests with violence, while Belgian Prime Minister Bart de Wever called for solidarity with the Iranian people. Meanwhile, the Iranian state media has blamed the unrest on terrorist agents from the US and Israel, highlighting food subsidies rather than addressing public grievances. Now let us shed light on Iran's economic and political challenges, which is also one of the reasons of Iran's poor condition. Notably, Iran's economy, heavily reliant on oil exports, faces mounting pressure from international sanctions. In 2024, the country recorded a trade deficit of $12.47 billion, projected to rise further in 2025. While Iran attempts to boost trade with neighbors and the Eurasian Economic Union, GDP growth is expected to remain stagnant at 0.3%, and stabilizing the rial without lifting sanctions remains unlikely. Well, this is truly a movement that is growing stronger. What began as a protest against inflation in Tehran's bazaars has expanded to 348 locations in all the 31 provinces. University students have occupied campuses, markets have closed, and citizens continue to risk their lives demanding change. From chants of death to the dictator to calls for the Shah's return, the protests in Iran reflect decades of frustration with clerical rule, economic hardship, and political repression. Well, as the unrest continues, the world watches a nation at a crossroads where economic despair and the yearning for freedom collide in streets filled with determination and defiance. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.